What's up, boys? I'm the Duel Factory, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you a Fire Fist deck profile with the new support from Fist of the Gadgets. Admittedly, this deck has been on the back burner because I have been to a couple events, one of them being the St. Peter's region that I told you I was going to bring you the Pure Thunder Dragon deck profile anyway. So I felt like that killed two birds with one stone, and this deck just kind of got put to the back burner. Plus, I'm still actually learning how to play the deck. It's actually, it's not as easy as I thought, because for those of you who played beforehand, remembering Fire Fist, it was traditionally a +1 grind deck, traditionally speaking. And then we got Spirit, and it still was like more like a +1, but it became more combo oriented. And now in 2019, fast forward, we have new support and cards like Panda and Elephants, Elan, all those fun cards. It's definitely now a combo centric deck. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I've been playing. Before I get into that, as always, if you haven't, check out the X2 Drop podcast that me and Bingo HD do every week. It posts every Monday on his channel and uploads to Spotify and Buzzsprout and all that fun stuff. Admittedly, we'll post on my channel later in the week. But enough about that. I'm going to go ahead and show you the deck profile. And then one last thing, some guy at my locals, you know, I was a huge Piccolo fan. I got a new sweet Piccolo Field Center, and that was pretty sweet, so I wanted to make sure I shout him out. So there's that. I'll go ahead and get into the profile. So to start off with the monsters, we have 3 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Panda. For those of you who don't know what he does, he's level 5. Whenever a fire formation is activated, you can special summon this card out of his hand. You can special summon 1 Fire Fist monster out of your graveyard. The turn you do that, you can only special summon Fire Fist monsters for the rest of the turn, so if you have any other summons before that, you should do that prior. But this is one of the cards that allows you to combo off turn 1. It also has a protection effect, but that doesn't really come up. But this card's insane. Like, this is what allows you to do all your nutty combos. The second card that we're going to go into, it's a level 4, is Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Elephant. This card's really, really cool, too. For those of you who don't know, whenever he's normal summoned, is it normal summon or special summon? I can't remember. It is, yeah, if it's normal or special summon, so yeah. You can send a fire formation from field to graveyard, and then you can special summon a Fire Fist out of your hand. So it's kind of like a marauding captain for Fire Fist, but you send a fire formation. And then it has another effect as you can send a fire formation from your graveyard back to the deck and add a level 5 or higher Fire Fist monster. So that allows you to add Panda, and that lets you combo off really well. Like, these 2 cards go in tandem really, really well. And then when you're, when Eagles face up, you don't pay cost for that effect either, so this card becomes a really, really nutty extender when you have Eagle on the field. And then on to the rest of the Fire Fist monsters. Something that traditional decks haven't seen in a long time is you play 3 copies of Dragon in this deck. Way back in the day, you didn't even play this card because the effect wasn't even that powerful. But for those of you who don't know what Dragon does, when he's on the field, if his fire formation is activated, you can set 1 fire formation trap card from your deck. At first, that doesn't seem that powerful, but then we got a new Cower Trap and Ultimate Fire Formation Sato, and this card can set that directly, so that's insane. Second effect is you can send 2 other fire formations from the field to the graveyard to, or I think it's fire formation or Fire Fist. Let me make sure real quick. It is, no, it's gotta be fire formations. Okay, I'm thinking of Buffalo, but you send 2 face-up fire formations from each side of the field to the graveyard, and then you target a Fire Fist monster in your graveyard and you special summon it. So it's Monster Reborn for Fire Fist. Now, reading that, it doesn't seem that powerful because obviously you have to send 2 fire formations, right? But the new Link Monster Eagle makes it to where you don't have to pay that cost. So now you can activate this monster's effect for free. And that's insane because now that's how you loop all your combos in it on these huge plus combos. And then we play 2 1 of level 4. Yeah, 2 1 of level 4s. We play 1 Buffalo and 1 Bear. This is just a free extender. More or less, you send 2 Fire Fist or Fire Formation monsters from you control, or Hands of the Grave or special summon it, but like I said, with Eagle, it's free. So it's just a free level 4 extender that you have access to in the deck, and that's insane. And then 1 copy of Bear. Traditionally, you play more copies of this, but in today's Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's not that great. It's just a level 4 monster, in all honesty. But you use it and you summon it off the combo because Tiger King's effect, the special summon 2 monsters out of the deck, doesn't require cost anymore. So you summon it off of that, and then there's also a couple other niche combos, but more or less you're using it to pop your Tiger Kings to resolve its effects. Plus it also seconds a spot removal, so against like weird decks, like for example Barrier Statue, because I ended up having to play against Barrier Statue a couple weeks ago, you can search this card and pop those cards and stuff like that. It just has like a lot of niche interactions, so Bear is really cool. And now another 3 of that deck plays that didn't play traditionally is 3 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Raven. For those of you who don't know, when this card's sent from the field to the graveyard, it just sets a fire formation from your deck. And back in the day, that wasn't that great because you didn't really have a way to send it other than by battle and stuff like that. But now, since we have Link monsters and we now have access to Almirage, this card becomes it's a starter card because you can summon it, send it to the graveyard for Almirage, and you get a set Tenki or Tensu, whichever one you're missing, and you just get a combo for free. And that's really insane. We also play 2 copies of Rooster. This card was always insane, and it just becomes more insane now, especially with Eagle. But there's a quick rundown. Whenever it's special summoned, you can add a Fire Fist monster from your deck directly to hand, and then you can also send any fire formation on the field to the graveyard to send a fire formation with a different name. Like I said, with Eagle on the field, you don't have to pick off that, so you're literally just cycling out fire formations as you continue going, and it's really cool. And then we also play 2 copies of Brotherhood of Fire Fist Spirit. This is just your recursion card. Admittedly, if people remember, this card's put to 1 because everyone thought 3-Axis Fire Fist was going to be insane. And then the deck eventually got power crept, so we got 3 copies of it back. But it more or less what it does, it special summons a Fire Fist monster. No, it doesn't special summon a Fire Fist. I'm sorry. It actually it's a generic fire sport. You can target a level 3 fire monster with 200 or less defense, and you can special summon it. And then does it have another restriction? Monsters you control attack for the rest of the turn. Yeah, when you activate the effect, only Beast Warriors can attack for the rest of the turn. And it can only be used for the Synchro Summon of the Beast Warrior. But, I mean, it's one of those cards in the deck that, like, it's searchable, it's powerful, it gets you access to Horse Prince, it gives you access to Vulcan the Divine, Generic Link 3s. Generic Link 2, honestly, that's one, if there's one card Eagle mid-game, which is really important too, and then, like, so on and so forth, so it's really good. And then, a card we used to play 3 as a starter card was Leopard, but now we only play 1 because it's not as powerful. But more or less, this is Lone Fire Blossom 4 fire formations, and it works really well in tandem with Brotherhood of Fire Fist Spirit. And then the last of the Fire Fist monsters, we play 1 Brotherhood of Fire Fist Elan. It's the new ritual monster that we got from the set. You summon it using Fire Formation Dome, and then its effect is whenever your opponent activates monster effect, you can, while you control a fire formation, yeah. So, upon its ritual summon, I can discard 1 monster and set 1 fire formation spell or trap directly from my deck, which is really cool. And then when my opponent activates monster effect, I can send Fire Fist or Fire Formation card I control to the graveyard to negate the effects. No, with Eagle on the field, you don't have to pay a cost for that effect. So, it's a form of monster negation that your deck provides. And then for the hand traps, I do play 2 copies, monster hand traps, I should say. I play 2 copies of Ash Blossom in the deck. Notably, I'm pretty sure you can add this back with Lion Emperor because it's a level 3 fire. Or I think Lion Emperor just lets you add back a fire, yeah. So it's the most generic hand trap, and it can be recycled into your deck with Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Lion Emperor, which you play, so that's really insane interaction. Onto the spell cards, you play 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki, as many do, especially during Zoo format. It's just Rhoda for any Beast Warrior, and this is the deck it originally got printed with back in Cosmo Blazer. So it's really cool to be playing a Fire Fist deck with Tenki again. 3 copies of Fire Formation Tensu. You just get an additional normal summon of Beast Warrior in the field, and it's really powerful in this deck because it's a normal summon reliant deck, and you honestly need 2 normal summons in turn for the deck to actually function properly. And then 2 of the fusion spell, Fire Formation Dome. This is the ritual spell that you use to summon Eland. Also, when it's sent to the graveyard, this is the one that allows you to special summon a monster from the graveyard, so it's another extender, so that's why we play 2 copies of it, because you can send it off Rooster, and it gets the effect by being sent off Rooster. And then we do play the fusion spell in Engine to summon Swan. This is the same as Dome in terms of recursion, but instead of summoning a monster, it adds it back to your hand, so it gives you a follow-up play for the following turn. And then the last one of in the deck is Fire Fortress atop Liang Peak. It's the field spell that we get. It's always straight as a fire formation, though, so it can be set by a lot of the Fire Fist monsters. And then it has several effects. So but it gains a counter every time a Fire Fist is normal special summon, and then you can gain an effect by removing counters on it. So for 2, when a Fire Fist monster's attack, your opponent can't respond to it. For 6, you can add any Beast Warrior card from your deck to hand, and then for 10, this is the best effect. You can special summon any Beast Warrior monster from your deck or extra deck, ignoring the summoning condition. So it lets you play cards like Glider Base Heraclino. So I've seen some people play Lunalight Panther Dancer and stuff like that, and that's really insane. So. And then the last spell we play is 3 copies of Called by Grave. You are a combo-centric deck, like, to a T. So you need your plays to go through, and this is the best card to let you do it. Arguably, there is a case that you could play Gamma for your starting plays, but then after, like, your opponent just lets the card ride, there's no point. So there's that. And then onto the trap cards. The new counter trap, Ultimate Fire Formation Sento. So what this card is when a spell or trap card is activated while you control a Fire Fist monster and a fire formation, so you need 2 requirements. So it kind of reminds you of if you ever played Gravekeeper's Imperial Tomb in Necro Valley, it requires you to have a Grave Monster and Necro Valley up. This requires you to have a Fire Formation and a Fire Fist monster up on the field, but you'll always meet those requirements going turn 1. But it negates any spell or trap card and destroys the card. So it's a free counter trap that you get to set off Dragon, which is really, really cool. The last Fire Formation we play is Tensen. More or less, it's just 1,000 attack boost for any Fire Fist monster on the field, and it's another card you can set off Dragon. That's why we play it, and it's a free Fire Formation. And then the last hand trap we play is 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence. It's the best one to play generically for your deck, and it does everything that the deck needs. So there's that. That is the main deck. It is 40. And then on to the extra deck. The Super Sweet Piccolo Field Center. Again, I can't get over how cool this thing is. But you play 2 copies of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Eagle. So for those of you who don't know, he's a Link 2 that requires 2 Fire Fist, or not even 2 Fire Fist monsters. He's a generic Beast Warrior, but he works best with Fire Fist because of his effect. So while he's face up on the field, you can activate Fire Fist monster effects without paying the cost or sending Fire Formation. So as long as he's on the field, you don't have to pay the cost for any of your Fire Fist monsters. And then his other effect is a Foolish Burial, which you can target a Fire Formation spell trap card you control, return to the hand, so you can recycle your Tenkis and Tensus. It's really cool with Tensu because Tensu can be activated multiple times a turn. You don't gain the normal summon multiple times a turn, but you can activate so you can keep meeting the requirements of Fire Fist monsters. But you can Foolish Burial and send, and then you can start off combos by sending like Rooster or Buffalo or stuff like that, so that card's really cool. 1 copy of Peacock. So for those of you who don't know, it is mind control during the battle phase, so you can take control of a monster, and then when it points to another Fire Fist monster, your Fire Fist monsters can't be targeted. A lot of people forget that, and then they end up falling into effect negations, such as Valor. They forget like cards like Valor and Permanents don't work on your deck. 2 copies of Tiger King. For those of you who know, whenever he's XYZ summoned, he sets a Fire Formation directly from the deck, so you can get access to all your Fire Formations immediately. Some people do know that you can detach, and it skill drains all monsters on the field other than Beast Warriors, and then the effect that a lot of people don't know is when this card is destroyed and sent to the grave, you can send 3 face-up Fire Formations from the field to the grave. And if you do, you can special summon 2 level 4 Beast Warriors with the same level. You can special summon 2 level 4 lower Beast Warrior types with the same attack from the deck in face-up defensive. So if they're the same attack, they meet the requirements. So one of the cool things is a lot of people didn't realize that, and back in the day, this effect very seldomly resolved, but it could tutor Wolfbark out of the deck. That's pretty cool. But now, since we have Eagle, this effect is this is your huge combo extender, because this is what allows you to pop the card and then you summon your dragons out of the deck. You do it again, summon your roosters out of the deck, and so on and so on and so on and so on, and you're just generating huge advantage. My favorite rank 4 is Cardinal, which essentially spends 2 cards and recycles the rest of your Fire Formation cards. So keep that in mind. 1 Line Emperor, like I was telling you, in the old 3-axis builds. This recycled all your level 3 monsters. I do play 2 Synchros. 1 Vulcan the Divine, and 1 Brother of the Fire Fist Horse Prince. So many of you don't know, if you don't know what Horse Prince does, when it Synchro Summons, it special summons a level 3 Fire Fist out of your deck. Or level 3 Fire Monster, it's generic fire support. And then that summons your Rooster, summons your Leopard. You can summon Spirit if you want, but it's unnecessary. And then Vulcan the Divine is just a compulsory evacuation device for Fire Formations and monsters on the field, because you're only ever going to spend Fire Formations. And then 2 copies of Swan. You summon this off the engine. It's a battle phase effect, so that's really not that great. And then there's a special summon. You can inflict 200 points of damage for every Fire Formation. Every Fire Formation spell trap card you control. So in time, this card's really good. But more or less, it's just another body you can summon on the field. And then that's it for the actual Fire Fist monsters. Then for generic support, All Mirage. It works really well with Raven. You need to play it. 1 copy of Hida. This card's actually insane in your deck. How you actually kill your opponent is Boral Sword, because after your turn 1, you just make Boral Sword and kill him. And then my favorite card to play, because 1, I picked this up a long time ago, and 2, I can now play it because of Fire Fortress atop Leanne Pink, is 1 copy of Gladiator Beast Heraclinos. It is a Beast Warrior, and it can be summoned off of the Fire Fortress card. And that was my Fire Fist deck profile with post Fist of the Gadget support in. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let us know, like, comment, subscribe. I'll repeat it again. If you haven't already checked it out, go ahead and check out the X2 Drop podcast. Like I said, we post it every week, and like I said, it continues to grow. I'm really excited about that. I'll have some more deck profiles going for them. I think I'm going to mess around with Cyber Dragon Orcus because that deck looks really cool. And I think I might do something with Guard Dragon Crusadia again, but I don't know. But if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Remember to like, comment, check out the podcast, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.